When it comes to creating a family, and you're a single person and you desire to create a family, you want to have a family, you want to have children, you want to have a wife or a husband, and you feel like your time is running out. You need to do this now. I understand this. It was over 15 years ago now. Can't remember, 16, 17 years ago. No, it wasn't that long ago. But anyway, I felt this way until I met my wife, got married, and we have 3 children. So it is a very angsting time, a very stressful time for you if what you're desiring is to have kids, you're desiring to have a family, and yet you don't have a partner. You don't have a husband, you don't have a wife, and you don't know what to do about it. It feels like meeting somebody to do this with is impossible. It's not impossible. In fact, it's very doable for you. And if you want to have it, the first step is surrendering to yourself that this is actually what you want. Deeply understanding that you want this. You want to be married. You want this partner. You want them to be like this. And you want them to want what you want. And so the first step in attracting this into your life is being crystal clear on what you want. Now, I know this is what everyone says about manifesting anything, but it is very important to know what you're looking for and what you want. Up until this point, you've probably stumbled from relationship to relationship. And in your experience of relationship to relationship, you've learned the things that you want and desire and the things that you don't want and do not desire in a relationship. You want to spend the time now to be very crystal clear of all the things that you desire and want in this partner. The easiest way to do this is to get a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side of the piece of paper, you write down all the things that you don't want. It's often really clear to us all the things we don't want and less clear the things that we do want. So you can write down all the things that bothered you about any partner that you've had before in the past. The things that irritated you, the things that you didn't like about the things that they did to you, for you, with you, that you did not enjoy, you did not want, you don't want to create. And write those down on the left side of the piece of paper. Then on the right side of the piece of paper, write down the opposite of that thing. If they didn't tell you what they were doing, like going out or communicate with you, you write down, they're an excellent communicator, and they're always sharing with me what they're up to and the things that they're doing. They like talking to me and they like sharing their life with me. So you've shifted the focus from what you don't want to what you do want. So then you write that out. And this goes for anything, if you didn't find them to be caring or attentive, they're very caring and attentive. They're always focused on what they need and what you need. If they didn't take care of themselves, you could say they take care of themselves and their body. They're concerned for their health, their appearance, whatever. So you want to just do the opposite. It's very simple. Very simple, and it's much easier to see the opposite and write the characteristic that would be for this person that is not there. So once you've done that, then you continue on the list and write down other things that are creative, that aren't just switches of the negative. So you write down other things that traits that you want this person to have. And with that, you can get down to specific of how they look, how they smell, how tall or short they are, the color of their hair, all this stuff. That stuff isn't as important, but it's good to just put it out there. And then within that list, you also want to write down what values do they have? What do they care about? What's important to them? Because this goes on to the future that you're wanting to create. You don't want to manifest somebody that has all these traits, but then doesn't want to have a family. If you want to have a family, you want to write down that this person wants to have a family. They want to have children. They want to have this many children. They want to live here with me. They want to go on vacations. They want to do these things. They want to raise their kids this way. They believe this thing about raising children. They believe this thing about being a parent or a father. They believe this about marriage. You want to get this very crystal clear, because you're not just wanting to attract any old guy or any old girl. You're wanting to attract a person that wants to have a family with you, that is the person that you want to have a family with and stay with for the rest of your life. Because this is the thing you have to realize, is you're not just, up until this point, you've been dating. And maybe you've been dating looking to find somebody to stay with for the rest of your life. Maybe not. But if you have you done the diligent work to understand, like, oh, this person should have the same values, their family, that you marry into a family when you get married. That family should be consistent with the kind of extended family that you want. So this is very critical to understand all of these points, because this is the person you're committing the rest of your life with. Now, this day and age, people seem to get married and then they get divorced. And I understand, because when you have children after you've been married, it is a very difficult time. Things really change in your relationship once you have children after you're married. It is a very big change, and it is hard to adjust, and many couples do not make it. So you have to give yourself the best chance you can. And to do that, you need to be aligned with your values and going in the same direction in life. So you should be clear on what direction you're going in and what direction you want this relationship to go in, so that you have that for yourself and you're crystal clear about that. Okay, that's step one. Now, once you've written all that out, get rid of the negative side of the page. You can just throw that out. You just need all the traits that you want them to have, not the traits that you don't want them to have. Forget about those. Get rid of those and keep all the traits that you want them to have. So now you take that and you can attach a picture of, a couple together showing love to each other with that you are picturing as you and that other person. Or you can even Photoshop yourself with somebody that looks like the person you want. Whatever you want. Just a picture of a happy couple is good, or no picture, it's fine. But just take that list and take all of that and then fold it up, put it in a drawer somewhere. You don't need to reference that. You've written it out. It is clear to yourself and the universe, this is what you want. As long as you're crystal clear, that's exactly what you want. It's not some fantasy like some movie star. It's a realistic portrayal of a person that you desire to spend your life with. Then put that away. You don't need to focus on that anymore. You don't even need to worry about that as you're going out and meeting people in the world. Now, what do? Well, now you need to, step two is become the person who's going to get married, who's going to have a family. And to do that, you have to be the highest version of yourself in your life. Because if you want to meet this man, this woman that is of this level that you desire for your family and for your life, you're going to have to step up to the plate. So if you haven't been taking care of yourself, like exercising and eating well, and that's important to you, you got to start exercising and eating well. You got to change who you are. If you haven't been pursuing the career that is really important to you, your dream, your passion, your purpose, you got to start pursuing that. You got to start taking those actions. You got to start living in that future. Because the person that is going to be attracted to you, they're going to be attracted to that person that they want too. They don't want the single guy that just sits around and plays video games and just goes to work and just hangs out with his buddies. They're not looking for that guy. They're looking for the father, the attentive husband, the provider, the pursuer, the leader that can lead the family. And if you're a woman, they're not looking for the girl going out and partying all the time. They're not looking for the woman that is you know, desperately just taking care of like herself and this thing. They're looking for somebody that's engaged in the world, that shows that they are going to be this leader of the household, this wife and caring person that's going to raise amazing children, that is going to be an excellent spouse. If this is what you want to be, you want to be that great father and husband, you want to be that excellent spouse and mother, then you must step into that role and start becoming that expression, start becoming your best self. That is how you're going to get it. So you have to start stepping into that and start taking actions to raise your vibration and raise your energy into this next level of who you are. And if you're not doing that, you are not going to meet the person that you desire. You're going to meet some lower levels individuals that are not aligned with that. You know, you're going to meet party boys or party girls or whatever it is. You're just going to be hooking up with. It's not going to be what you're looking for if you're looking to make a family. Step 3, and this is not an in order to, this is to put yourself in active action towards finding this person that you love. And that is to put yourself in situations and in groups where you can actually meet somebody. And I'm not talking about a dating website or app. I'm talking about actually out in the world, being involved in things that you care about, where you could meet somebody. And you're not going there to meet somebody, but you're just doing these things because you love these things, and you would hope that the person that you would meet there loves these things too, and this would be something that you would have in common. For myself, I'm very much into personal development, and I knew that I wanted somebody in my life that was into personal development. I could not have a relationship, a marriage with somebody that wasn't wanting to develop themselves and expand and grow as a human being, as a spirit, as a soul in this world. So I was deeply engaged in personal development programs and groups and courses. And that's where I met my wife, is in one of those personal development groups and courses, because I was in that world, being who I am, valuing what I value, and giving myself fully to that. And there I met her. I didn't go to that to meet her, but I was doing that thing that I really value, that I want my partner to value as well. So meeting her there would be important. If exercising and fitness is important to you, going to the gym and exercising is important. Now, meeting people at the gym is probably not a good idea. So perhaps you need to expand your thing. If you're a man and all you do is lift weights, you can continue to do that, but maybe you should join some other exercise groups, yoga classes, running groups, things where women may be exercising. So you'll find someone that values exercise and health in their lane of exercising, because maybe they're not into lifting weights. And the same thing if you're a woman, if you're just doing running classes or these classes, maybe your man is at a CrossFit or at a gym. Now, don't go and join that to meet them. Go and join that for your own fitness and health, and be there for your own fitness and health. And then if you meet somebody there, great. But at least you'll have the opportunity to meet somebody that's consistent with your values. And whatever that is, maybe you're into academics and reading. Well, you should join book clubs that have people of the other sex in them. You should join academic groups or other things. You should be engaged in the things that you value and that you want your partner to value. That's important to you, where you can have a relationship, a common ground that's important. If you're really into expanding your mind and your education and that, and your partner isn't, it's going to be hard for you to connect there. You need to have some connection points, some similar connection points where the two of you have a joint there, and that will further grow throughout your relationship. It'll be a place where you can relate to one another, because you're not going to relate to your partner on many different things. They'll be into things that you are just not into. So you have to find the thing that you're into, that you want them to be into, and be involved in those things. And then when you meet somebody there, it's a natural connection. So, all right, that's the third step, I believe. So now, as you're doing all that, the fourth step is to completely let go of any attachment to finding this partner. You've decided who you're looking for exactly. You've stepped into your greatest and highest self, being the best you can possibly be, your highest version of yourself in life, happy and expressed. And 3, you're engaged in actively doing things in the world that you can meet people at and that express who you are. Because that's another thing. When you're expressing who you are, then people are going to meet you in that level and they'll be like, oh, this is who you are, who you want to be, what you really care about. If people meet you at work and you hate your job, but maybe they like the connection's wrong. They need to meet you where you're fully expressed and fully yourself and fully happy, not the place where you're depressed and hating life. That's not the area you want to meet them, because then that's where they think you're at. All right. The fourth, forgetting about any of this working out and you ever getting married and having a family. Letting that go completely. Now, I know this is hard. It is very hard. But you must release all attachment to this happening. And I know it's difficult. When I was going through this, I was 28, 29, 30, in that space where I felt like, no, this is the time I should have met somebody by now and be getting married or have gotten married. This is the time where, and you could be older too. That was just my experience. But this is the time where you feel like, no, I need to do this now. Time's running out. I want to have a baby and I'm getting too old to have a baby and blah, blah, blah. And that's silly, because you can have, my wife and I had baby and we're 40. So not to worry. But what the point is that the pressure and the neediness of this needing to happen and having to happen is keeping it away from you. And if you can't let go of this not happening and it not taking place and just being fully okay with who you are and happy with who you are, then it's not going to show up. Because you have to be fully happy with who you are. You have to be content pursuing what you're pursuing, so that person can show up into your life and complement your life. If you are in need and desire of having to have somebody to complete your life, they're not going to show up. And whoever does show up will not be the person that you're looking for. They're going to be the other half of a void that they're also trying to fill. They're going to be trying to fix what's wrong with them, just like you're trying to fix what's wrong with you. And you're both going to be in this half-heart relationship where you're trying to get from the other person where you feel there's a hole inside of yourself. This is not going to provide what you want it to provide. It is not going to give you that loving, happy marriage and family that you're looking for. You need to be very happy with who you are and very content in your life. Not just happy with who you are, but content in your life. You can't be dissatisfied and hating your life. You have to be powerful and inspired with where things are going and what your life is about. And when you're powerful and inspired, then you'll meet somebody that matches that and holds you to that through your life, wanting you to be powerful and inspired. So the last one is definitely hardest. It is releasing your attachment. It is letting go of it happening. It is saying it's okay if it happens or doesn't happen. I'm not going to think about it anymore. You have to literally be like, I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm doing all these things to be my best self, to engage and connect with people and meet with people. But I'm really let go of the fact that I need to find somebody, that I have to do it now, that it has to happen. You have to just let that go. And if you can't let that go, it's not going to happen for you, because your attachment is going to keep it away or attract the wrong people. So if you struggle with that, reach out to me. I can help you with letting go of those attachments. A lot of people may need that assistance, but that is required. That releasing and surrendering and allowing things to be just the way that they are and not having to change or create whatever it is that you're wanting will let it flow to you. Okay, so those are the 4 steps. I hope this has been valuable to you. Just to recap, you are, now I've forgotten, surrendering, what was the first step? Oh, knowing exactly who you're looking for and the life that you're looking to create with that person. Getting that all written out, putting it aside. Secondly is becoming your greatest self, doing all the things that that person that you want in the future to be, being that person now. Putting yourself in all the situations of places that inspire you, where you can connect with somebody that is interested in wanting the same things and doing the same things that you like doing. And 4th, letting go of any attachment to it happening. All right. Thank you. I know this has been a long video. I appreciate you watching to the end. Hopefully it's been of value and you can take this and apply it to your life. If you need any support, please reach out and comment and connect with me. I'd be more than willing to help you in any way that I can. With love.